I recently received a set of brushes from a company based in China. They're called Golden Maple, and they have asked me for a review, which I will do, and it will be an unbiased review. Golden Maple is an art supply brand that is gaining popularity in the USA, Europe and Australia. And we insist that all of our artist brushes are handmade. So that's interesting in itself. So, okay, came in a nice sturdy package, cellophane wrap. Here's your box of brushes. So let's see what we've got. Oh, it's always so exciting. Let's have a look. Woo! These look lovely. So let's tip them out and see what we have. That is an extremely sturdy box, and we have, wow, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 brushes in a set. So let's separate them into rounds, chisels and other. So what do we have? Okay, let's start off with the round. Okay, they're in a cellophane. Let's start with the smallest. Cellophane wrapper, very nice. A little sheath on it, and yes, that's got a gorgeous point, and of course it's stiff with dressing, so you need to remove that before you can start painting. So that's a 0. Let's pop that over there. Then we have a number 6. I always suggest to my students that you don't try to put those back on to protect your brush. Always store them upright. You want the air around them, and the chances are when you put that little sheath on that it might get one of your bristles loose and bend it the wrong way. That's the number 6. These feel very nice in the grip, and they feel nice and sturdy. This is where you sometimes get problems on the ferrule here. If it's not well attached to the handle, the glue wears off, the paint flakes, and before you know it, it's falling to pieces. But that feels pretty good, and those feel nice and tight. So pop that over there. Then we have, gosh, I'm quite excited about this. It takes a lot to get me excited these days. We have a number 10. Put that there. And then we have a number 12. Yep, looks okay. We'll find out when I start using them, but again it feels nice and sturdy, and the balance feels comfortable. Okay, remember, the closer you hold to the bristles, the more control brush. If you're holding it up here, the less control you have, which is fine depending what you're doing. And then we have a rigger, or some people call it a lining brush. Lots of bristles, very long, nice. Now the reason it's called a lining brush, if you're it's a number 3, if you cast your mind back to the days when they had coach and horses trotting around on the streets, the coach lines, the line that goes usually around the panel of the door, things like that, often in gold paint. That's a lining brush favoured by sign writers and people who do coach lines. That's why it's called coach lines. But also you can use it for trees, branches, you know, if you want something loose and that sort of thing. Okay, so I'm not a great fan of it myself, but let's see how it goes. Right, now we've got to the flat. Oh, this has got a chunky grip around it. Okay, looks all right. Loads of dressing on it. Not completely neat on the end. slightly different lengths, but we'll see how it performs. A number 10. And then we have another chisel or flat brush, as I like to call them. And this is a number 6. It's got a nice chisel edge, you know, so if you've got any loose, sometimes with brushes, if you give them a good tap, you can loosen any loose hairs and they sort of just come out, but that feels okay. Now we have the cat's tongue. Not bothered myself for this one, but it looks nice. It's a number 10, okay. And then we have something which is called a dagger brush or a sword liner brush. Now, it's quite simple. It's shaped like a knife, you know, the old psycho. And it's a sword brush if it's long, and it's a dagger brush if it's shorter. I don't know what they call that one, but it's 3/8, which is interesting because they put that in, I would say, is that millimetres? I'll have to check. Whereas here they put them in sizes, because sometimes with these chisel brushes, they'll tell you that's a 1/2 inch or that's a 1/4 inch or something like that. But it matters not. So let's put those aside and I'll get organised and we'll start playing with them. Right, I have rinsed the dressing off, which is a sort of a glue they put on to keep them in shape. I can just see the odd bristle there, but I'm not going to worry about it. Let's see what happens. This is the 0. I just happen to have something purple in my paint box, so I'm going to try that. Now remember, if you want more control, hold it down the bottom, rest your hand on your surface, and then you can get a nice, very nice line. And it's holding, I mean, it's a very tiny brush, so yeah, that feels nice. And it's still holding quite a bit, look. We then go to a number 6. I'm just going to get a bit more paint. Let's have French ultramarine. Nice dark purpley colour there. I always like to use up what's in my paint box. Right, this is the number 6. Nice point. Lovely. And look, that's holding a lot of water. Now these sorts of brushes are great for doing all sorts of stuff, you know. You can use the point for your leaves or something. And look, if you press it down, you see where all the water is held. That's the belly of the brush. Most of your pigment's going to be in the point. So that's, yeah, that feels nice. Nice point. So you can often let the brush do the work for you, okay? You don't have to, but I see a lot of students do. Okay, there's my leaf, there it is. And then I'll colour it in. Why not just make your mark? I've got something just out the end there. A bit of fluff I picked up probably. Right, the number 8. Nice point. Ah, now look, you can see that stray hair there. Got it. Or have I? That's okay, it's alright, it's not a deal breaker. It does sometimes happen. Oh look, I've got two colours on my brush, how nice. Ooh. Yeah, again, I go a lot by the shape of the brush, the point, you know, what can it do for me so I don't have to do it myself. Yeah, nice. And number 10. Now this feels as if it's going to hold a lot. Still a nice point. Ooh, look at that. That's lovely. Yeah, and when you've flattened it like that, you sometimes get interesting lines if you turn it on its side. Remember, you can always turn your brushes around. I mean, this is a lovely set. I really only use 3 or 4 brushes, to be honest, but that's me, because I like to play with things, and I like to just see the magic of the two things, the watercolour, the brush and the paper. Fabulous. That holds a lovely lot of water. Thank you very much. Number 10. And then we've got a 12. Ooh. Let's get more colour, more paint. Bit of silver leaf or something. Yes, again, a nice fine point, and it does feel sturdy. The balance feels nice. And lastly, in this section, we'll have the rigger, or the lining brush. That spreads out quite well. But you can use it for, if you hold it high up, say you're doing twigs or branches on leaves, on trees, just let it do its own thing. So you're not taking control of the brush, you're letting the brush do some of the work. But at the same time, you can get a nice, steady, even line. Lovely. Let's just turn this over. Excuse me, and let's look at these chunky brushes. Right, we've got the cat's tongue. Let's do the cat's tongue. That looked like my cat's tongue. So, what shapes can you make? Well, it's nice for, oh, that's interesting, look. How those bristles, are they slightly different texture? See how the separation there of those bristles, but that makes nice marks. Interesting, see what you could do with that. I think that's rather fun. And again, the sword or the dagger liner brush gives you a lovely, lovely point. And some interesting, oh look, isn't that nice? Now this would be fun for double loading. By that I mean getting 2 colours. Oh, that's rather fun, isn't it? Roof tiles? Don't know. Petals, leaves. Be careful you don't fall into a pattern. That is rather interesting. Like that, and it's holding a lot. Look, it's going on and on and on. You could use these for all manner of things. It really is a question of what you want to do. Now I've got a little bristle there, so just pull that out. It doesn't want to come. Got it. Okay, so that's okay. As I say, it's not a deal breaker, but just, you know, when you've got new brushes, this is what you want to look out for. Now I'm going to get some ultramarine and I'm going to make it quite strong because I want to see what the point is like. Nice. Yeah, that's holding a lot. But it's what I like to often do is to use see what the point is like. It's quite sharp, it's quite chisel-like, and you can get some really nice effects like bark down the side of a tree. You know, where you've got peeling bark. Just manipulate the brush. It's rather gorgeous. Get a bit more dark colour and just drop it in while it's still wet. Play with them. That's where you learn. You're far more receptive when you're in a play mode. That's why children learn so quickly when they're young. They're playing. And this big beast, the number 10, let's see what sort of a point you've got as well. Yeah, nice. Very nice. Got a little stray here. Yeah, he's not happy. We'll have you out. There we go. Now, it's just left a little stub there, but I don't think that's anything to worry about. Now look, here you can see the bristles, how even they are. Not particularly, but that's okay. I mean, brushes are only as good as the person who uses them, to be honest. So, no, these are nice. They feel nice. They feel nice to hold. So, thank you very much. I like those. I hope you're happy with your review. And the people are very, excuse me, kindly offered a discount for my students, which will be accompanying this video. So thank you very much to Golden Maypole. Very nice, thank you indeed. And I look forward to seeing the comments. Bye for now.